You didn't lose anyone. You just haven't realized yet. They are the ones losing you. And this story will help you understand why the more you chase someone, the more you get left behind. In a peaceful place called Silverbrook Valley, mornings always began with warm sunlight. A calm river flowed gently, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Green hills surrounded the houses, standing quietly, like gentle guardians. Life there moved slowly. People greeted each other every morning. Children played along narrow roads. Small shops opened with fresh bread and warm tea in the air. Among the people in that valley, there was a young woman named Elena. Everyone knew Elena for her kindness. She smiled easily. She helped others without being asked. She always tried to make people feel comfortable, always tried to be there for everyone. But Elena had one quiet weakness. She chased people who pulled away. If someone ignored her message, she sent another anyone. If someone stopped talking to her, she tried harder to reconnect. Even when someone made her feel unimportant, she still held on. Deep inside, Elena believed something many people believe, that love must be earned. Even when nothing is given in return, Elena worked in a small bakery boss, owned by an elderly woman named Madame Elena. Every morning, the street filled with the smell of fresh bread, sweet cakes, and crispy pastries. Customers came for tea, for conversation, for warmth and connection. The bakery was always lively, full of voices and laughter. But inside Elena, something felt strangely invisible. It felt like standing in a crowded room, while no one truly sees you. One afternoon, while walking home from work, Elena noticed something unusual. A tiny sparrow sat quietly on an old wooden fence. One of its wings looked injured, fragile, but calm. Elena walked closer, slowly and gently. "You poor little bird," she whispered softly. The sparrow didn't fly away. She placed a few breadcrumbs nearby and stepped back. For a moment, the bird simply stayed. Then Elena walked home. But that small moment stayed with her. Someone had stayed, even if it was just a bird. The next morning, she passed the same place again, but the sparrow was gone. A quiet sadness appeared inside her. "Everything leaves eventually," she murmured softly. That thought followed her, all the way to the bakery. Madame Elena noticed immediately. "You seem quiet today," she said gently. "I'm just a little tired," Elena replied. But the truth was deeper than that. Something inside her felt empty. That same week, something more painful happened. Elena's closest friend, Sophie, began avoiding her. Sophie stopped visiting, stopped replying to messages, and one day, in the market, when Elena tried to greet her, Sophie looked away. Elena felt confused. Did she say something wrong? Did she make a mistake? For days, she carried those questions alone. Finally, she gathered the courage. "Sophie, did I do something wrong?" she asked gently. Sophie looked annoyed. "I'm busy, Elena," she said coldly. "You don't need to follow me everywhere." Those words were short, but they felt heavy. The market was full of noise, but everything went silent for Elena. She nodded slowly and walked away. That evening, she went to her favorite place. By the river, the sunset painted the sky with soft orange light. Usually, that place brought her peace. But today, her heart felt heavy. She sat quietly, watching the river flow. Then, a small chirply. The sparrow returned. It landed beside her. Elena wiped her tears. "Why does everyone leave me?" she whispered. "Why am I always the one chasing?" The sparrow tilted its head, as if listening. The river flowed gently. The wind moved softly. For a moment, everything felt calm again. Then, she heard voices behind her. Two girls walked nearby. They didn't see Elena. "Did you hear what Sophie said?" One whispered. "She said Elena is too emotional, always chasing like a shadow." They laughed quietly. Elena froze. Her hands turned cold. So, this was the truth. Sophie wasn't busy. She was embarrassed. Tears filled Elena's eyes. Not soft tears, but painful ones, carrying years of trying too hard. The sparrow chirped again. Elena took a deep breath. She looked at the river, and for the first time, she allowed herself to feel everything. The pain, the anger, the sadness. And then, silence. Then a new thought appeared. She wasn't losing people. People who didn't value her were losing her ace. Elena gently touched the bird. I shouldn't chase anyone anymore, she whispered. If someone wants to leave, I will let them go. The sparrow fluttered its wings, and something powerful began to grow inside her. Self-respect. The next morning, Elena walked into the bakery differently. Her steps were calm, her smile felt real. She greeted customers warmly and focused on her work. For the first time, she didn't check her phone again and again. Madame Elena watched her. You seem different today. Elena nodded. I made an important decision. What decision? To stop chasing people. Madame smiled gently. That is a lesson. Many learn too late. Days passed. Sophie never came back, never apologized. But something interesting happened. New people entered Elena's life. A girl from a nearby shop started visiting her. A kind customer offered to teach her painting. A young boy helped her feed the sparrow. These people stayed, not because she chased them, but because they wanted to be there. One evening, Elena stood outside the bakery. The sky was soft pink. The air was peaceful. The sparrow rested on her shoulder. Elena smiled. Her life felt lighter now, not because everyone stayed, but because she finally understood the right people don't need to be chased. They choose to stay and sometimes the strongest thing you can do is respect yourself enough to stop running after those who don't see your worth. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs it. And remember, the moment you stop chasing the wrong people, you make space for the right ones to find you. Thank you for listening.